Hey, this is Paulo, and this is Mind Your Own Business. Hey everybody, welcome again. I have the privilege here of Pedro from Company Combo and Globalfy. He's a successful business owner, making impact in especially in the Latin market within the United States. I got to know him personally because I actually use his services, so I can say that they're great, and that he's really impacting us as Latinos within the U.S. But as we can talk about in a second, the world is now a global place. There's no barriers anymore. So he took advantage of it. He saw the opportunity, and we can learn from him. So Pedro, welcome. How are you?
Hey, Pablo, thanks so much. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure. You already started doing my marketing part, so thanks so much. And it's a pleasure, and let's do it, man. Thanks so much for the invite.
All right. So to start, I'm going to ask about your business, right? So who
Mhm.
does your business help?
Um, we believe in a democratic and global world. So, for example, in Global Finance Company Combo, we have team members in different countries, and we are a multicultural company. We speak three different languages in the company, so Spanish, Portuguese, and English. Um, and of course, using this natural culture, we start through Globalfy to help the foreign entrepreneurs to conquer the world using the US as a platform.
Mm-mm.
So we register a company, we provide virtual address, fulfillment service, and bookkeeping service too. And other than that, we offer a business bank account, business bank solution. So the foreign entrepreneur is able to do all the process remotely without coming to the US. And for example, they can open a business bank account 100% online and no social security number or ITIN are required. So we call it a one-click solution to make our business global. So do you believe something more open-minded or global than that?
That's amazing, and yeah, I can. As I mentioned before, I use the service. That's how I got. I'm. We can have this today. It's possible thanks to people like Pedro that's actually opening these barriers. And so I'm curious. So, what motivated you to the creation of your business, or in other words, what's your why?
Yeah, no, good question. And I need to explain something here. The company started in 2015 above the company Combo's name. And last year we created the bank solution, the fintech solution called Globalfy. And after that, we decided to handle just one brand, and we rebrand all the companies. So now we
Mm.
are only Globalfy. So
Oh, okay.
uh, Company Combo was funded in 2015, but now we are Globalfy. And the company was founded by my business partner, Diego Sampaio. Um, he had an interesting story, and I love him a lot. So, and he's my friend since 2010, and we already did other business together. We sold our business to venture capitalists in the
Mm.
past. So I love him. That's the point. And he started a company in the US in 2014, and he spent more than $100,000
Ooh,
to open an account and to fix a mistake from a consulting firm and lawyers.
a hundred thousand
During
dollars.
yes, during and after the business formation process, so $100,000. So after some months, he realized needs to pay tax, he needs to do the state renewal, he needs to do a lot of things, to this whole thing, but he didn't know because the consult firm and the lawyers didn't talk it to him,
Mm.
talk to him. So can you imagine he lost $100,000 to start a business?
That's painful. A lot of money.
Yes, of course.
I
So
mean, uh,
yeah, yeah. So well, he's from Brazil too, and he started thinking this is not right. So, and maybe there are other foreign entrepreneurs with the same problem, passing for the same problem from mistakes to from the consulting firms and lawyers, etc. And so here we have an opportunity, and the other thing to motivate the business was the consulting firms. They sell it difficult to put a high price
mm,
and offer the service, you know. So it's hard to do to create a business in the US. You need to do a lot of marketing research. You need to do a lot of things. You need to hire a lawyer, for example. um, and and after the market research from these consult firms, they hired something like $50,000 to start our business. So no makes sense. And we are entrepreneur, and we know the cost of the things. We can't pay $50,000 to start a business.
mm.
And our suggestion and the way you do the way we always do. I mean, start a business, do some quick market research, start to sell, start to know your market, understand the market, not hiring a consulting firm and pay $50,000 in a market research.
Hmm.
So all these points, the first one, the mistakes, because he is a foreign entrepreneur and the lawyer and the consult firm have no clue about that, and the way the consult firms work,
Hmm.
but in a high price and selling the difficult of the process. So this is our whys, and in these things, Sampaio started business in 2015.
That's a great story. I mean, unfortunately, you need to learn from your mistakes, and but
Yes.
it was at the end of the day, it was maybe a good thing. I know, I won't say that, but I mean, there was an opportunity there because of that
Mhm.
loss of money. Now, Globalfy exists, right? So
Exactly.
if you look
Yeah.
back, maybe, I won't say it's good thing, but that gives you an opportunity to see something that's wrong and take advantage and create your own thing.
Yeah, and today we can connect the points. Today, yes, after some time.
Right.
But another interesting thing, when we start, our prices and our service, they are all public
Hmm.
until today. And the consult firms, you need to schedule a call to know the price of the service. And to schedule a call, you needed to pay $50 to schedule a call. So all of these things motivate us to start the business, and of course we always believe in democratic and global world.
Hmm.
So that's the main point.
That's great. And so I'm curious, what piece of advice would you give to a person who's starting out? Maybe he or she wants to create their own business or their own thing. Doesn't have to be too big, but something, right? What would you say to a person who wants to take that jump into the pool?
Yeah. I don't know if I'm the correct person to advise someone, but I started different business in my short life. And of course, I had more failures than succeed projects. It's natural. But I'm not telling you and for who is hearing us here, The motivational coach phrase like you need to like the failure, and you need to like the mistakes, etc. I hate failure, and I hate when I made some mistakes. I hate this part. And yeah, and I do my best all day, all time to not failure
Hmm.
because I hate it. So I didn't really in on these romantic coach stories, you know, and romantic parts of these things. But I know the mistakes and the failures are part of the process, of course.
Hmm.
Uh, but I hate. But based on it, my advice is you need to know yourself.
Hmm.
So this is my advice. You need to understand who you are. You have to develop your self knowledge, because
Hmm.
this way you'll be able to know how to handle some situations. When you fail, you know to still how to still working hard, doing your best, etc. So that's my advice. And I think Paulo can help me on these matters because he knows a lot of things about mindset, etc. But I think this way, self-knowledge, it's the most important thing to understand and to make things better, you know.
Right, absolutely. And so yeah, I think maybe so if you know yourself, if you know how you know your emotions, your knowledge, and what you don't know, maybe if you're working for a company or you want to create your own thing or whatever, I mean, you have more tools to come like to overcome those failures that those things that happen in life that we don't like, we hate. But yeah, I mean, if you know yourself, you at least you have some tools to work with. So absolutely.
Nothing, nothing.
And Pedro, I'm curious. Do you have a specific mindset? Like, do you need to develop to be a successful business owner?
Um, I don't know if you have a specific mindset. If you need to have specific mindset. Um, I like the proactive things. So I like when we have mindset more positive than negative.
Mm.
And to me works a lot when I think that I can do it, even I know that will be hard, and even I know that I will do some mistakes, I make some mistakes, and I will fail. So, but this way I can be encouraged that
Yeah.
text encouraged to do it, to do the next steps, to try to looking for how to successful in these tasks, etc. So I think this way. I don't know if I have a specific way to think,
Hmm.
but this is my way. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean it's great. And just a quick note here, Pedro speaks three languages. We just before this call we were speaking in Spanish, and he's absolutely fluent in Spanish, as well as of course Portuguese. He's from Brazil, and now English, which is amazing. I just wanted to give you a shout out because of that. I also, I mean, I know my English is super broken, but still, it's amazing how if you break down the barriers today via Zoom or video conferencing, we can actually connect. Even like there's no excuse now to have the mindset of I'm going to do this or that. I mean, you can come up with excuses, but at the end of the day, if you have a computer, internet, which mm, like I won't say all of them, but as we talked about before the interview, most of the people have, then I can create something.
Yes, yes, and yeah, I'm trying to speak English, and sorry for my mistakes, guys. But that's a mindset too, a proactive mindset, because I know that I don't have 100% of the English words, vocabulary, etc. But I'm trying. I'm here trying.
Exactly.
I'm I already did some mistakes, I know, and but I'm trying, and I think this is a good thing about to learn some language, and of course to start a business. So it's and for life too.
That's great. That's great. And so, what would you like to have known before creating Globalfy?
Uh, yeah, this is a hard question too because I don't have a specific answer to, uh, but maybe maybe try to be more patient,
Hmm. Okay.
uh, and try to different ways. Uh, these things that help me to create global to help to create global five.
Hmm. Okay.
Um, yeah, I think these things be more patient and try to find a different ways to do the same things.
Hmm.
It's something that I like it to have know before creating.
Interesting, because we get so anxious, I think. So we
Yeah,
see we see social media, people is already successful, but we don't know that maybe they took 10 years to build that company,
mhm.
or you know they have this successful relationship, but maybe who knows, maybe they're being working on it for so much time. So it's not enough. I mean, it's always a good advice to tell people and to ourselves, like, be patient, like, things will come your way, don't worry about it, but you need to keep working and they'll be there, but just in with time, right? So I think it's
Yeah,
great.
yeah. I have two examples, interesting examples. The first one in 2010, I started a business called Fields.
Okay.
Uh, the idea was create an app. I don't know if you remember in Facebook in this time, they had a marketplace,
Hmm.
and you can download or add some apps on your account.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, and the idea was create an image filter app. The name is Filters because filter.
Mm.
So you upload the photo, and you are able to use some filters to add on your image. Basic similar Instagram today.
Yeah, I was going to say that, or
Maybe.
Snapchat, or these companies. Yeah.
Yeah.
The,
But the business didn't continue,
okay.
and maybe if I was more patient at this time, maybe
Mm.
I was trying uh, different ways, today could be a good business. I don't know. I'm not telling them you be Instagram. Not that's the point. It's not that this point. But maybe um, could be a good and interesting business. And the other example, in 2014, I started a blog about self-knowledge,
Mm.
and it was a great time to me. But few months after that, I closed the project. But today, what is the most important thing to the companies? Content.
Mm.
Content is the most important to the companies. Uh, and who are the new young rich people? The content creators to YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, etc.
Right.
So maybe maybe today I can have a YouTube with 1 million subscribers. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Uh, but but there were two different ideas, two different business that I started a lot of business. Just two examples here.
Hmm.
And maybe if I was more patient, maybe today I have this business. But the things happens.
Hmm.
But I think be patient. It's an interesting thing that I want to know before starting this business. And of course, I use this, and I'm using and I'm learning to use this nowadays. and of course to create Globalfy and to start Globalfy. Remember, Globalfy, it started after the company formed. So
Right.
yeah, that's the point.
All right. And so on that same note, what piece of advice would you give? Like if you have a phone to call yourself, your 20-year-old self, what would you say to yourself when you were 20 years old, filled with ambition and dreams? That you still have, I mean, but
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, I think be more patient.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
because we are anxious a lot. So yeah, I'm talking about me, but not only about business but about life. Be more patient. It's always a good
Hmm.
advice.
Hmm.
It's always a good.
So be patient and put content out there. Would you say that these two things are super important? Like
Yeah,
to be consistent with your
exactly.
content. So it's not the amount. Maybe I do one thing every 4 months, another thing, maybe a year from now. No, instead do it constantly. Uh, put content out there like you were an influencer on YouTube or TikTok or whatever, and then have patience. And with time, that will give
Exactly.
results. That's great. That's
Exactly. Yeah. Mm.
And so, and what kind of what book or seminar or podcast would you say that influenced your life the most?
Um, I believe in different contents. I don't believe in just one type of content and one episode, for example, changed my life.
Hmm.
I think we are always adding more knowledge using different ways to understand and all like connected points. All this knowledge will be connected and will be create a specific knowledge, but not only one way, only one book, only one podcast.
Hmm.
But I have a book called Principles from Ray Dalio. Was an important book to me because he talked about principles about life and about work, and it's something connected to self knowledge, to patience. So
Hmm.
this was an interesting book to me.
Yeah, so a book that's for business, but it's not about revenue, money, converting people to buy. Instead, it's more about values, principles that you can
Yeah,
apply in your personal life.
yeah, life and work. Yeah,
Life and work. Great.
yeah,
And so, Pedro, I'm curious. I know you said you don't like failures and
yeah.
to to fail, but apart from that $100 mistake that your partner had back in the day,
Mhm.
has any failure? Let's quote this. Any failure you had that led you to succeed? I mean, any quote unquote personal favorite failure?
Yeah, I like this way you call favorite failure. It's a good way to call it. Uh, but yes, yes. We always learn with the failures and mistakes. And about the blog, I was talking blog I created in 2014. The content was about self knowledge.
Mm,
And when I was creating the project, writing contents, interviewing some psychologists, etc., was a huge personal growth time to me. So
okay.
I learned a lot about self knowledge, and of course I'm using it until today every day. The prison was closed. I lost some money. Yes, part of the process. Uh, but the knowledge that
Mm.
I I know that I learned at that time, it's really really interesting. I'm using it till today.
And so how do you develop this? how do you, I mean, what I'm trying to ask is how do you bounce back, or how do you get up back again from these challenging situations, which is, I mean, it's life that happens a lot every day. So how do you how do you stand up again?
Yeah, Paul, that's my point. If if you know yourself, if you have knowledge, you have the tools to back to the game. It's important thing because if you don't know yourself, how you can handle a failure or a huge mistake? So
Hmm.
when you know yourself, you know what you need to do next day, what you need the day before, etc. This way, you can handle the hard situations. So, for example, I know when I did some mistake and I'm furious, I know that I need to wait like 2 or 3 days to send some answers about that case because
Mm.
if I answer at the same time I'm really furious, will not mean. So I know that I need to wait to answer something, to write about that case, etc. Of
Okay.
course, some case you need to work the time that the case are doing, the client are asking something, etc. But more strategic things, more personal things. So I always take like 2 3 days to answer something because I know if I answer will not be my normally answer, will be my furious answer.
That's I think that's a very very interesting advice. When you're angry, not to answer,
Yes,
messages or emails. Wait,
yes,
wait
exactly.
a day or two. And in what other way you can, like, this knowledge of yourself, how can you use that in your day to day? Maybe another example of, if I get to know myself really, my life will change for the better.
Yes, for example, I know that when I spend some time with my family, it's a good thing to me. Yeah, it's obvious, but we know a lot of people that lives in the corner of their family and didn't visit.
Mm.
So it's obvious,
Yep.
but on your daily routine, it's hard. So I know that I need to spend some time with my family every week. I know that, and it's a curious thing. I moved to my hometown in 2019. It's a small city with 40,000 people. Can you believe that? Yeah, but and look, I have different teams, employees in different countries. We work using 3 different languages, and I work with the teams, and we sell to the service products to the world from here. So we're talking about it ha- doesn't exist excuse,
Hmm.
any excuse. So just do it. Back into the question. So because of that, I know that spend time with the family is a good thing to me. I know that I need to do some exercise every day.
Hmm.
I know, and I need to do because I'm really anxious. So when I did my exercise, I can breathe more than normally, and sometimes I forget to breathe too. So it's a interesting thing, and I'm feeling good when I'm studying, when I reading some book, when I read some macroeconomics things, when I read some marketing, customer support, business in general. So I know the things work for me, and I just know it, knowing me. And how can I know me? How can I have self knowledge? Um, Reading about it, reading about philosophy, doing therapy, talking about other people about reflection questions. So this way I create my self knowledge, and this way I apply all these things that I told you now.
That's powerful advice, pero I'm going to use it for sure from now on. Self knowledge. And just to wrap it up, where do we find you online?
My LinkedIn, Pedro Trevisan, or can mail me pedro at globalfy.com. Um, any content, anything, just write to me. It will be a pleasure to help and answer something like that.
There you go. Visit Pedro, right? Stop by and leave him a message. So he's again. I'm repeating myself, but he's helping so much our community, and we should pay more attention to leaders such as himself. So, any final thoughts before we jump off?
Pablo, thanks so much for the opportunity. Thanks for having me on your show. It was a pleasure. And guys, sorry about my English, but remember proactive
It's
mindset.
pretty good.
Try to do it. And that's it. Thanks so much, Pablo. Thanks so much. I appreciate it. What a
Thank you.
pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Take care, Pedro. Bye bye.
Bye bye.